this is Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and I'm back with another episode today. Today is April 13th, and I just want to welcome everybody to my channel. Those of you who are new, welcome, and those of you who are returning, welcome back, and thank you for stopping by to see what I've been working on. So this is the first video in 2 weeks, and so I'm trying a new schedule where I'm only recording every other week. It was strange not recording last week, as I'm used to recording every week, but it was a nice break to not have to gather everything. I could just focus on stitching, but I did miss coming on, and of course, as I'm getting things together, I kept thinking about things I wanted to talk about and share. So for now, we're gonna stick to this plan, especially because next Thursday, I will be getting ready to leave on Friday to go on a trip with my family, my parents and my brother. We are going to Lynchburg, Virginia for my cousin's wedding. So I had previously mentioned that I am going to go to Southern Stitchers Co. on Saturday. So not this weekend, but the following weekend, just in the morning to go check out Whitley's shop. I have shopped with her and talked with her a little bit about a year ago, but I quickly Googled when I found out I was going to go on this trip, what was close, and that was close. So if you live in the area and you wanted to stop by, I'm trying to get there when it opens, and then I'll be there for just a little bit, and then I have to get back to family time and see my grandma and things like that. So, but I'm really excited about that. And 4 days, no kids, 3 nights sleeping with no kids. It's gonna be awesome. So, and who knows what stitching time I'll get done. But all of that being said, I am glad to not have to record a video next week too. So I have lots of fun things today, as always. I have 2 pieces back I got from the framers. I did stuff my rabbit and the rose pillow with some awesome stuffing that I received from a viewer, and she also sent a bag for me to give away, and I'm excited to tell you about her shop and the stuffing. I did not know how much of a difference it would make. So let me go ahead and show you that. So the first is my rabbit and the rose. I showed this already, but this I finished with this fabric on the back, and then just stitched up the bottom, but I stuffed it with, let me get this. It is Sweet Dreams 100% cotton stuffing. And I'm sure I am not the first person to tell you guys about this, or just cotton, 100% cotton stuffing in general. My pillow feels so great. And let me get you her card too. Her shop is called Stitch It Up VA, and she happens to also be in Virginia. And here is the card, and hopefully this will focus. I will put this below, and I'll put a link to her shop with a link to the cotton batting or the stuffing. And hopefully if she doesn't have any in stock, there will be some more coming. And here is some more information. I will, like I said, I'll put all this below. But it is awesome. And I love how firm it feels. And you just pull it apart and then stuff it in there. It's stuffed into the corners, and it feels so much different than polyfill. And I really did not think it was going to make that much of a difference, but it truly, in my opinion, it does. So if you've been on the fence about buying a pack of this, whether it's the Quilter's Dream Sweet Dreams or not, and I like Quilter's Dream for my batting, this is Sweet Dreams again. But I like this brand for my batting for my quilts. They have all kinds of different variations, but that was what my previous quilter used, and I love the feel of it. But again, this is cute. I did not add the rickrack. I wanted to get this in the bowl. I wasn't even in there for Easter, but I did get it on there until I switched my decorations. So I just left the rickrack for now. I may or may not add it. It's not that it's necessary, because I was able to get the bottom sewn up, and you can't even really tell that it's sewn up. So I was really happy with that, and I am so appreciative of Susan for sending that. So like I said, I have a bag that I will use in the giveaway today for one of you guys to try, and I'll put a link below too. All right, so I got 2 pieces back from the framer. I did end up deciding to take my This Is the Day to a custom frame shop that I found in my local area. And the shop is called Artistic Expressions. And they used to be very close to me in Oviedo. And they since have moved to Winter Park, which is not that far. So if you live around in the area, it's called Artistic Expressions. They did a great job, and they do frame needlework along with other things. They were super helpful and nice. And I decided to take This Is the Day. And then I took a smaller piece that I just was gonna look around, and I ended up finding something. And I'm really happy with both of them. So this was the Blackbird Designs Sweet Summer Come Again. And I just chose this white shabby chic frame. I didn't end up spraying this with the antiquing spray. I just left it white. But I like the white frame even on the white fabric, just to kind of fade away. I'm just gonna set this in a display, and I looked at black and I felt like it was fighting with the, it was too bold. So I loved this frame, and then I thought it went good together. So I like how this turned out. I took it to just see what it was like to use them as a framer, and like I said, I enjoyed it. I probably will not frame anything small again, just because I have other ways of framing, and I could buy something to put in it, but I had my other piece, and I thought I would, like I said, try it out and see how it was, and I had a good experience. So I will take other larger pieces back, but for the money, in my opinion, I will probably finish the smaller pieces on my own and take the larger pieces to this location. Or I am also considering mailing to a couple other different framers that I know other people use, but the larger pieces I will probably send off, just because the level of experience they have is, I will still practice probably with smaller, but it just looked so much better when they did it. So I can save my pennies in order to do it. But this is the day. I absolutely love the frame. I still like the other frame I had, and I will use that for something else. But I just love the frame. It's perfect. I have it right now sitting on my mantle. And so I love, it's even on all the sides. So it's just, it fits it perfectly. And when I was going to finish this, I love the idea of finding something from the store and doing it myself. Or even if you were to use Art to Frame, or there's another one online, you can send dimensions. That would be, to me, similar to getting it framed. You would be doing the pinning or lacing yourself, but then it would fit perfectly. But when I spent so much time on this, and then I couldn't find a frame that exactly fit it, because I did take the borders off, so it was a little bit different in size. I just wasn't completely satisfied, and that's why I chose to use the framer. But obviously you don't have to use a framer. It doesn't fit in everybody's budget, but I am so happy with my finish. And this truly, getting this back, truly inspired me to get larger pieces out and get working on them. I forgot to bring it upstairs, but I did get my Live on Little out, and I just tried to get some of the border done so I could maybe bring it with me on my trip to do some fill-in. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but it like really lit a fire to get some more stuff done because I love seeing my piece framed. So, and again, whether you're doing it or you're having it done, either way, just getting it on your wall, it just is, that's inspiring to me, and I'm sure to other people. All right, the next thing I wanted to show is I had shown this last week, or 2 weeks ago. I had bought this from AKA Van Mom on Instagram, and it is called a bento box that she makes, and I have since painted it, sanded it, sealed it, and I am using it, and I wanted to show how I set it up. So this is what it looks like, and then I'll kind of share. She sells them on her Instagram. She also has a Patreon, which I'm not a member of the Patreon, but oops, I have heard great things. So let me show you before everything flies everywhere, kind of what I have, in my box and how I'm using it. And you can use these for stitching. She also shows you how to use them for paper crafting, finishing, whatever you want to do. And then I haven't found a piece of fabric yet, but she does have a video on her, and I'll link her Instagram below, on her Instagram, showing how you take a square piece of fabric, about a yard, and you can fold it up to all around your box so you can carry it. And I'll try to do that and show that next week, but you can look on her Instagram too. All right, so what I have in here is I have up here in the front, this is the long piece, I have my little ruler box from Primitive Gatherings that I'm keeping orts in. And then over here I have, this was a needle book that I bought from Shelly, who's part of Antique Needleworkers. And so I have some needles in here. And then I have this little box tin that I bought from Pine Needles recently. And I have some needle minders, and I have my thread conditioner. And I also, when I'm not using my scissors, I stick them in here so that my kids aren't messing with them. But I have my scissors with my beautiful scissor fob from Kathy Lounsbury, and I love that. So I have my scissor block too that I made. Then I haven't done anything with this yet. So this is a small box that has these dowels that you can put thread on. I haven't put any on there, and then it comes with this little wooden thing, so that's just sitting in there. Then in this part, somehow I think it's in this section, you can attach a magnet. I haven't done a magnet, but I just have some readers, and I have one of these are in here. And then in this box I have my tomato pincushion and my unstitcher, and I have stuck pins in there. I have some washi tape, and then in the middle, which it actually fits perfectly in the middle, I have my scissor block that I bought the kit to make the scissor block from Kathy Bourne, who is part of Linen and Scraps, but I chose to put my own scrapbook paper on here to make it this black and white. But she provided the felt for the bottom, the block, and then she had, I forget which kit this was, but I was really buying it for the wooden block and the felt. But she sent some pictures, but I had this. So this fits perfectly in the middle. And it looks just like this. And I love it so much. And all of these pieces are all removable. So you can take them all out. And then you have the tray at the bottom that you could always put stuff into. But I will put a link to her Instagram so you can go over, and she makes them by hand and then sells a few at a time on her site. And all I did for the painting is I used chalk spray painted it. Then I took sandpaper, and because it was wood, I was really able to get some good like streaks, or I don't know what you would call it, good sanding marks on it. And then I used a sealer, which all of those are things that I use when I paint my pieces that I get from Chantel's at 141 Design Company. So I had all of that on hand, and then I just had to wait for it to, the smell to go away from the sealer, but it sits on a table next to me while I stitch, and I am loving the box. So I wanted to make sure to share that and all finished up. All right, so let's see. I got all kinds of stuff over here. The next thing I'm gonna share is I'm gonna share what I've been doing. So like I said at the end of last video, it was in March, so I was talking about my 5x5 plan that I was going to be doing. And I was inspired by Ellie and Allie from the Yorkshire Dolly Mixtures, and then Ellie or Eleanor also has another floss tube called For the Love of Stitches, and they use this plan for pretty much every month. And I thought it was a great idea. So you pick 5 projects and you work on each one of them for 5 days each, and then that leaves you between 5 and 6 days at the end of the month to either, you could pick a 6th project, or you could pick up one of the projects you worked on from your 5 and work on it a few more days to either finish it up or just put some more progress in. I cannot tell you how much I have loved the concentration on the projects. Normally I am scattered. I feel all over the place. I want to stitch this and then this and then this. And it's really helped me to focus on one thing for 5 days. And I know when the 5 days is up, I will move to another project. About day 4, I am kind of like, okay, I'm ready to stitch on something else, but I have tried to stick with my plan. I have picked up a couple other things, but for the most part, I haven't been as scattered as I was feeling I was. And I've gotten a lot of progress done, and I'm extremely happy. So the first project that I pulled was, I don't want everything to fall over. It was this project, which is Every Opening Flower by Brenda Gervais. And I had started, and I just had this a little bit at the top, and I'll put a picture of where I started right here so you can see. And then where I am now, and let me grab this, I was able to get a lot done, and this was in 5 days, and I pretty much worked on this for the 5 days. And the other thing that I felt helped me to get more done is that I knew for the 5 days everything was kitted, and I just picked up that project. There was no deciding, there was no kitting, there was none of that. And so I felt like I was able to get more done, because normally 10-20 minutes I'm trying to decide, and then if I want to start something new, I have to kit it. So it really helped for my stitching time to just be my stitching time. So this is where I am. So like I said, I had just had this, so I was able to get in a few letters. I got the 2 other Quaker motifs, which there's more stuff inside of them. the whole wreath with the bee, this flower, and then I came down to the house. And I came down here because I was unsure if I want, and I haven't decided what I'm taking on my trip. I'll probably take whatever my pick is for 5x5, but then I will probably take this or Live on Little for some fill-in, because that might be where I'm at when I'm on the trip, is just able to fill in, or I might not get anything done. I don't really know, but I want to bring something with fill-in. So this is all ready for fill-in, and then I just have this side over here, but I was so excited about how much I was able to get done. So that is my first project. And I really want to try to get this done for this year. So whether I put this in my stitching for next month, or finish stitching on it some more at the end of the month, or stitch on it some more at the end of the month, we'll see. But I love that, and that's in my Como Stitches bag. So that was the first project. Then during that time also, I got in a little bit of haul from Pine Needles. So I did want to start this. I've never done embroidery before, and I was interested. I saw this on their website, and this is by Pine Mountain Designs, Sandra Workman, who is the same person who is doing the For the Bowl series and so many other projects. I love all of her stuff. But this is an embroidery project, and this is Spring ABC Sampler. And I also got the nautical one, both of these from her shop. And they just require DMC, and I picked up some embroidery linen from Hobby Lobby, and that's what I'm doing this one on as well. But I got this out, and I did have a small little start on this. I just started right up here. So what you do is, this comes with an iron-on piece, so you iron it onto your linen after you put SF 101 on the back as well. And then you just follow every letter. It tells you, okay, for the X's, you use this color. This was like back stitches, and then you back stitch on the inside. So it gives you, and then she also has on the pattern, like it shows some different, like how to do the stitches. So I don't know how to do embroidery, but this is pretty self-explanatory, and so far it's going so good. I only have one letter, but and I bought a large Nerge hoop off of Amazon just to stick it in, so it was easier to do. But I am loving this, and I want to get back to this. And this is also, it's kind of big, but I was also considering taking this, maybe put it in my suitcase, because then I don't have to look at a pattern. But I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening. It's still a week away. But like I said, this also came, and like always, I'll put all the links below, but this was from Pine Needles, and the designer is Sandra Workman, who her designing name is Pine Mountain Designs. So cute. And I want to get back to that, even though it's spring ABCs, and I kind of feel like I'm moving into having a summer stitching bug. I will still work on that probably till it gets finished. Okay, so that was the first project, and then that kind of interjected itself. And like I only worked on it for like one day. Okay, this is in my Floss Flat from Chris Sherman at Winding Rainbows. And this, I think her design is a little slightly different now. I like it. I think it has a pocket here, but this is one of the first iterations, and in this is my Home Sweet Home by Brenda Gervais, which I got this was a release from Market. I got this as a kit from Farm Girl Dry Goods, and this was 5-ish days. This was when I decided to work on Live on Little a little bit, and I did start This I Know. This was like over Easter, so I did start This I Know a little bit. I don't have that much done, but this is where and this was a fresh start. I didn't have anything done. So this is how far I got. So I just need to fill in the rest of the house. There's a few quilt blocks over here and a bird, the words, and then a little over here. So I don't have very much to go on this. And it will be finished. And that was a simple keep in this pack, work on it, and didn't take very long. So I am loving that, and I will most definitely get this done and in my bowl for my patriotic for this year. And I've already started pulling some ideas for next month. I'm not sure which ones I am going to use, but I did pull two most of them are patriotic. 2 of them are whips that have a decent amount done. So I'm thinking if I'm using the 5x5 method, that if I put 5 days into both of those, they could be finishes. So that's, and like that would probably need another 2-3 days maybe. So I am thinking about putting all those together. Okay. Then what do I have? Okay, then I did start This I Know on Easter. And I have some cute Happy Mail. Some of this stuff goes together, so I'm just going to show it as I go. Some adorable Happy Mail to go with it, and I love it. It was a thank you from a sweet viewer and friend, Kara. Thank you so much. She made me, this is a little needle holder with the Amazing Grace fabric, which I love. And then I was eyeing her floss drops, and she made me some to put my floss on. So I need to get these punched, and I need to get my floss on these. But I love them, and I am so thankful. That was a sweet surprise. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the pattern by Plum Street, and it is a kind of a companion piece to this, which is also what got me spurred on to work on it. So I was able to I started in the middle, and I am using all the called for floss, which I did coffee dye the couple pieces that you had to coffee dye. And I'm using the called for fabric, which I was able to get my hands on from Color and Cotton. And this is where I am. So I got this outlined. I need to go back and do the other windows, and then I can get the house filled in, and then grass and so forth. So not that this is gonna be super speedy, but I feel like I have a plan for getting this done. Right now, my thought on this project is making this a stitch to work on Sundays as like a Sabbath stitch. And then if I feel like I want to pick something else up during the week, I could always add this, but I'm thinking about using this as a Sabbath stitch. So we will see. But this is in a case that was by Chris Sherman as well. This was custom made a while ago with Lori Holt fabric I had, but this is one of my favorites. So thank you, Chris. Okay, what do I want to show next? All right, so my next project, so we're on the third week, or the third grouping of 5 days. I picked, and I meant to tell you this, and I'm recording on my phone because so I can't show you. I have an app that has a decision wheel, and I put in the 5 projects, and I spin the wheel when it's time for another project, and that's how I've been deciding which project to work on. So I can try to put a link to the app, or at least type in what it's called. But there's all kinds of, just look up decision wheel, and that's how I found it. But this was the one I pulled for this set, which it started on the 11th, which was my daughter's birthday. So I'm thinking, because I already had started it, but I worked on this on her birthday, I'm thinking about trying to put her name or initials or something somewhere on this, just as kind of a remembrance of that I was working on this on her birthday. But I haven't decided that yet. But this is Channing Street by Annie Bees. And I am loving this. This is also on Color and Cotton Boardwalk 36 count. And I forget to say this every time. If I am stitching on 36 count, which most of the time I am now, I use 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads. And so this is where I am. And I'll put a picture of where I was. I had some of the border here. I had to finish this, and I had like a couple letters. So I got some more letters, and then I started working on the greens of the strawberries. And I did 1 strawberry just to see what it was going to look like. But I am excited to get this more progress. And this I am working on until Saturday. And then I will switch to a new project. So I have a few more days on this project, but I love it. And it's such a pretty chart. And as I had mentioned before, most shops who had ordered this have probably already received, but she was going to do a 1-page printout of the whole pattern together, because the original patterns weren't matching, the pages weren't matching up together. But like I had mentioned before, there's nothing wrong with the chart. It was just where the pages started overlapping, it wasn't matching. So if you bought this in the first go around of purchases, you can contact your shop to get the 1 page of the whole thing. But it's so easy to follow. And then this is in a bag from the Lori Holt panel. Love, love, love. And this was something I had already kind of started. I pulled it out last night. I don't know why. I just kind of got inspired. But this is by Whilst Iris Naps. And this is, all right, where's the pattern? This is Anne Logan. And Eleanor from For the Love of Stitches is stitching this, which is how I got onto it. I'm using some of the called for, overdyed, and some overdyed that I matched to the DMC color. But I have this on a piece of Beach Brew, and I just pulled it out last night to get back to. I didn't get very much done, but I wanted to show it. I just kind of was in the mood to do something else. But this is where I am on that. This is 36 count Beach Brew by R&R. So this was just kind of an addition to, and this is in an adorable, let me get this pattern back in here. Oh, good grief. In a Painted Leaf Co. bag that I had bought. And this is older. So I know she doesn't have this one, but this is the medium size, and it has the floss thing, but her bags are great too. And she also now does all fabric bags too. And maybe just all fabric and no vinyl. I don't remember, but Painted Leaf Co. on Etsy. Great bag. So that was an addition just because. And then this, I haven't started it, but this is in a new bag I got. Super cute. And it is called Speckled Red. And I got the recommendation from Chantel at 141 Design Company, but also I've seen these bags on Lori Holt's videos. Super cute. But I found this pattern. I'm in a group on Facebook, and I want to say it is called Our Samplers Through the Years, or Our Sampler Years, but I'll put the name here, and then I'll put it below too, because I, of course, forgot to write it down. But Krista Gramer from Just Stitching Along put out a pattern on the Facebook group the other day, and it's free to download, and it's called Eliza Bryce. And it's just a, kind of like a marking sampler. And I'll just kind of flash it a little bit. So it has just letters and some borders, very similar to Anne Logan. But what she had written is that I think they had been talking about this on a, like a Facebook chat that she does once a week. And it says that the chart, there are 4 colors in her sampler. You can pick your own 4 colors to use in the same places, or use one color or any variety of colors. So I was on the, I don't even know how I was on the Facebook group, but I saw this and I thought, oh, that's so cool. So it's 87 by 136, and I downloaded it right from there. And she did say she is going to eventually tell you what the colors are. But I went and I had some Victoria Clayton's silks from another pattern, and I just went and pulled some that I liked. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them or not, but these are the ones that I pulled. And then I have some 40 count Albarium from Cedar River. And so I'm thinking about doing of course, I'm thinking about doing those on this fabric. And I thought, well, this would be fun to put a few letters in, put it down, kind of like how I'm doing Anne Logan and some of my other monochromatic ones that I haven't finished, but I've started. But just kind of do a couple threads and see how it turns out, and then see when it's done. There's no timetable or anything, so of course I won't be able to. But they were from another pack that I had, and it's a large piece from Hands Across the Sea that who knows when I'll start. So I figured, well, might as well put these to good use. So I'm going to put this in this bag and just have it, but I'll put a link to the Facebook group. I think there are a couple questions you have to answer to get in it, but this is in there to try your hand at a sampler. Like I said, one color you can pick, and she thought it would be fun to see all the different variations that people pick and what theirs look like. So I thought, well, that's fun. And I had a project bag. I needed a project for it. Okay, so that is everything that I have been working on. And you would think for only having 5 projects, I would have less to show, but being every other week, I had a lot, I felt like. Oh, I also wanted to mention, and I'll put the hashtag right here, I have been hashtagging or trying to remember to use a hashtag, the number 5 by BY5 XS, and XS is for cross stitch, when I tag my things, and because I found there was not a hashtag already, so I just made one up to go with the 5x5. So if you were interested in seeing what other people are doing, if they are doing 5x5, then you could follow the hashtag. So I just wanted to put that out there. Okay, before I get to haul, I wanted to talk about 2 other things, one of which is some floss tubes I've been watching. Now, I have been watching many more than this, but these were a couple that stood out. The first one is new to me, and it is called Kennedy Creates, and I'll put the link below because she spells her name Kennedie, and she's 14 years old. She does cross stitch. Her videos are amazing. You should go check them out. So professional, edited. She moves it all along. It's a great video. So go check her videos out. Also, I was unaware that Christine from Whilst Iris Naps had a floss tube. So I'm in the Homespun Needlework Facebook group, which currently has an exclusive with Hobby House for a pattern by Whilst Iris Naps, which if you are not in the group or you haven't bought the pattern or you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's awesome. It's giant, but it's amazing. It has 2 red houses and is a sampler, and it's just really pretty. But Christine has a video talking about the sampler. So I went to watch the video, which she has great information on the girl who stitched it. And then I realized she has a floss tube. So I watched a couple. I thought it was great. And I had to laugh because the one video that I was watching, she said she has been stitching for 30 plus years. And until floss tube came around, she never dreamed or never imagined stitching more than one thing at a time. She would stitch one project, and then when it was done, she'd buy another, and she didn't have a lot of stash or anything. And that's foreign to me because I didn't start stitching until I found it through floss tube. So I didn't know any different, but I just thought that that was interesting. And I know many other people have told me that that's how they stitched, but it was just funny hearing it from someone and like thinking about it in my mind about doing that with the amount of stash and things that everyone has. So that was just interesting. But her videos were great, and she has awesome information on her samplers that she's reproduced. And she got a new one from her kids for her birthday, which is really pretty. So if you like her stuff or you like samplers or whatever, go check her videos out too. And then I haven't even gotten through the whole video because I had to stop it and go buy something. But Kathy and Nancy from the So-and-Sos, I love seeing what they're working on. And Nancy was showing a Brenda Gervais pattern that I have always loved. And so I, of course, after she showed it, then I had to go over and buy the pattern and the floss, and that's going to go into my May plans as well. But their videos are always great, and they have a new one out. But the list is too long for me to talk about everyone I love on FlossTube, but I thought I would just mention a couple in case you don't know about them to go check them out. Okay, I wanted to also mention, and then I'll get to my haul, 2 retreats that are coming that I'm going to. The first one, before we even get to these, is I will be at StitchCon Weekend A, along with many other people, but some people were asking about that, so I wanted to talk about that. And then I will be going in September to Michigan to Chantel at 141 Design Company. She is hosting a retreat with Kathy from Hands On Design the weekend in September after Labor Day. I think it's like the 7th, 8th, and 9th, or 8th, 9th, and 10th. I can't remember. But there are some spots available for that. Email her at, I'll put it below because I don't want to tell you the wrong email. If you are interested in coming, I know other people who are awesome you want to meet are coming, and I'm excited to meet. So go, if you're in the area or you can get up there and you want to take a class by Kathy, which who wouldn't, email Chantel. And then in February of next year, February 22nd, 23rd, 24th is the Beach Please retreat from Stacy Stitches Creative Studio. It is in Clearwater Beach, and I will put the link to this retreat and sign up below as well. So if you are interested, I will be at this as well. So excited for upcoming retreats to go to and hang out with my friends, get stitching time in, and I love, of course, meeting viewers and other people in the community. So excited about that. Okay, let's get to my haul. So my haul is, I did get some Color and Cotton, which I had ordered. This was like a leftover pack from the March Thread Club, the Primitives. I was able to get that. And then I am also in the 10 skein all colors for April. Or this is the, so these are the colors, really, really pretty. And then this is, I was able to get in, and I don't know if there's any more spots open, but the Primitive Neutrals, these are the April colors, and so pretty. So I need to get these organized. I need to get all of my floss. I have a hot mess going on. I need to get this organized and get some of these like kitted with my projects, because I have a lot of Color and Cotton and then I feel like I never use them. So I need to get those kitted up. I also got this from Happy Little Stitch Shop. I'm in the Garden Club series club through Happy Little Stitch Shop, and Angela, she has lots of other clubs on her website that you can join. They're like auto ship, so I'll put a link to that below. This is from Little Robin Designs. She just put a post out today that she has these for a PDF in her Etsy shop, and this was the one that I wanted from Market. This is AT 1797. Again, I don't know when I think I'm getting all this stuff done, but I am bound and determined to get some big pieces done this year. So I just thought this was so pretty, all of the colors. And I am planning to stitch this with the DMC. So I got that. Then I was able to snag a bag from Barry at Stitch Folk, and this came today. I ordered this a little while ago, but this came. And I wanted to show how she had the inside packaged. It was amazing. So it came with this bag, which is so cool. And then she's shown these on her Instagram. She has this word on this paper with a thank you on the back. Oh, I had also bought the Thread Keeper scissor fob. And then she has this. So nice. So like everything is so personalized, and that was all in this little bag inside of my amazingly packaged project bag. So I highly recommend, if she has bags, of getting on that, because her presentation of the bag is so pretty. So of course now I have to find something to go in there. This was from my, this is a club that I'm in as well. This is Life is Just a Bowl, and you cannot get in the club anymore, but after the year they will sell these. And this is the May kit, and it comes all packaged up. And I have not gotten any of these done, but these are going to be 1 month. I'm going to sit down and try to work on getting these done. They're on Ada. That's what they sent you. And I think I can crank some of them out. So I have them all in a bag, and I'm going to get to them hopefully to be able to set out next year. Then I don't even know why I was on Brenda Gervais' website, Country Stitches, and I saw that she had the Winter Rose Manor project bag panel in her shop. So I was able to get one of these. I don't know if there's any left of these, but I have been searching for this for a long time, and I have never been able to find it. So I found it, and I'm excited for that. And then, of course, oh, this is why I was on there. I saw someone stitching this, which is Red Bird Fractor, and this is why I was on the website in the first place. So I found this. Then I saw that she had the project bag, and then I've wanted this one, Needle and Thread, so I ordered that. And then I also saw this on Carol Saltbox. I think this is behind her right now. Saltbox Stitcher, Frances Poole. And I love this one too. So thought, well, if I'm ordering from her shop, I might as well get a couple that I wanted. This is on the to-do list very soon. I have that project going, but she has a couple other project bags I'd love to get my hands on, but I never see them come back, and I don't know if she's reprinting the panel or not, but I am on the hunt. Okay, this is a club through Silver Needle, and this was the release for this quarter. It's called A Little Help from Our Friends Stitching Circle, and this is from Cottage Garden. It's a peacock. It's gorgeous, and it comes with everything to stitch the whole piece and finish it. It's so pretty. So I love that, and it always comes with like a little write-up telling you about it and all that. So I got that last week. I had ordered this when I went to the January retreat and was waiting for it to come in. This is We Chicken by Heart and Hand. So that finally came. Crowns and Shields by Blackbird Designs. I love this too. And How Can You Resist? A new Blackbird book. So I got that. And that was from Fat Quarter Shop, I think. And then they also had this, which is 36 count Cypress, Viper on a Whim. It's a really pretty green color. And my iron was dirty, so I got some. This is supposedly the magical iron cleaner. I have heard from Vanna Pfeiffer, and then Michelle McGraw was using it, so I ordered it on Amazon. So this is in my future. What did I order from? Okay. Oh, yes. This was from Market. I just got this. This is Bees and Birds Sewing Roll from Stacy Nash. I ordered this from Farm Girl Dry Goods, all kitted up. So some of my Market stuff is still trickling in also. But that's ready to go when I'm ready. And then I keep forgetting to show this, but this is from Under the Garden Moon, Amy. And this is a club, like an auto ship club, and it's to make an embroidery sampler book, stitch sampler book. And so what you get in your pack is you get the page, and then you get all of the thread to stitch, and then it gives you instructions on what to do. And she also has some, like this tells you, she has some videos, and then this had an extra, which I think this goes in the part. She has on her website videos that show you how to do the stitches. So I've been collecting these, which I got this recommendation from Kathy and Nancy, the So-and-Sos. They were doing it, and I thought, well, that's a great way to learn the different stitches. But I haven't, that's like my life is a bowl. I need to like take a month or get this out and start working on it a little bit at a time. But I keep putting the boxes to the side, but I want to get to working on that too. So that was from the past 2 weeks, what has come in. And I also got this from Fat Quarter Shop, the 32 count antique white linen, because I am going to stitch the cross stitch pieces in here with the Aurifloss box, which I'm waiting to get this, and then I'm going to order, I think, the dots, and maybe Kimberly is getting in some light blue gingham, get some of that. But whatever month Fat Quarter Shop is doing this, which I want to say it's June, I am going to be doing this for sure. So if you don't have this book, I highly recommend getting it. If you do and you want to stitch too, I'll be doing this with Fat Quarter Shop. So I'll put a link to this, but I got some white to put with this. so that I'm ready for some of them. Okay, that was a lot. So for this, or for the giveaways from last week, I have the winners, and if you are a winner, you need to send me an email at sweetwaterstitcher@gmail.com, and I will, with your name and address, and I'll get this in the mail to you. So for the first one, which is the Biscornu, and this will come from Stacy actually. The winner is Lorraine Holbrook. Lorraine Holbrook. Number 2 was Float, and the winner is Barbara Shires. Barbara Shires. And number 3 was Sting, and the winner is Janice Kramer. Janice Kramer. So again, if you won, send me an email with your name and address, and I will get those in the mail to you. And then for this week, what should we answer? Oh, here's an interesting question. So I have watched a few videos from Pat Ryan, who is R&R Reproduction Fabric, and about ironing your linen or your Aida. She specifically talks about linen because she dyes linen. But I'm curious, and she says to iron your linen before you start your project, and then obviously you iron it after as well. But my question is, do you iron your fabric before you start, or do you just pull it out of the bag and start stitching? And I previously was just pulling it out and cutting it and stitching, but the past couple things I've done, I have ironed. And obviously, as you're stitching, you get hoop marks or whatever. It gets messed up, but it supposedly helps it at the end if you do iron it. And I'll put a couple links below to the videos I was watching about ironing. But I found it really interesting, and I'm just curious. I don't feel like there's a right or wrong. You could do whatever you want, but so do you iron your fabric before you start stitching, or do you just leave it and then you iron it at the end? So that's the question. So number 1 is going to be a pack of the Sweet Dreams cotton stuffing. So this is number 1. Great big bag. You could get a lot of pillows with this. So number 1. Number 2, these are from Primrose Cottage, and they generously sent these to me to give away, and I so appreciate this. But I am going to give away a pack, let me get them together, of their new releases. So let me make sure I'm getting them all. Okay. So this is number 2. And number 2 is you are going to win all of these charts. So 1 pack of all of the charts. So the first one is Fresh Lemonade, and these are all their market releases. You get Snowman 2023. You get Perfect Hot Chocolate. You get Christmas Quilt, which you can do this in any colors you want. Holly, who is Mrs. Jones Stitches, she did it in the colors from Hive Rules. It looks awesome. You could do it in 4th of July. You could do it in Halloween. You could do it in lots of different ones. You're also going to get I Would Rather Be Stitching, Hot Cocoa Christmas Cheer, Seasonal Samplings, and Seasonal Samplings Winter. So the spring and the winter. So this will be a whole pack. You'll get all of this stuff. So this is number 2. And that is all for, let me put this together. And I have some other stuff for another week, but that I thought would be a fun little pack to get you started if you're a new stitcher, or if you didn't buy anything and you're interested. So I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks. I will be back, not next Thursday, but the Thursday after, with reporting back from my trip to Southern Stitchers Co. And hopefully some pictures and progress. And I will be picking on Sunday my next project, which my last 2 projects in my 5x5 is Lucy Barber by Hands Across the Sea and Sally Spencer from Birds of a Feather. So one of those 2 projects will be the project my next 5 days, and then obviously the last one. But tune into my Instagram, and I post on Instagram what I'm working on, along with a few family pictures. But I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks, like I said, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.